Yes, Robin, it was a record-breaking start. Li Qiang arrived in Dublin airport yesterday evening at about 9 p.m. in a Boeing 747-8 aircraft, the biggest commercial aircraft ever to land at Dublin airport. He arrived after attending the Davos World Economic Forum in Switzerland, spending 2 days there and 2 days here. In reality, it was quite a brief visit. Arrived at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, and we're hearing right now he's already at the airport in Dublin, ready to fly back to China. Yesterday evening he met with some local Chinese business people. We also saw streets lined with about 200 Chinese people here waving Chinese and Irish flags. He got quite a warm welcome. This morning he met with Irish President Michael D. Higgins. They talked about a number of things, including a continuance of what Premier Li talked about in Davos, about how technology needs to be shared to be for the benefit of everyone involved. Artificial intelligence particularly was one of the topics there. Later on he had a working lunch right behind me here at the in Ireland's Phoenix Park. There on the agenda they talked about bilateral issues, and we had some breaking news in the last half an hour or so. Premier Li Qiang and the Chinese delegation announced that Ireland is now to have free visa travel for 15 days, joining other European nations like Spain, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Italy. So Irish people can now travel to China for 15 days visa-free. That's great news for Irish people and Irish businesses willing and who need to get to China. We heard from the Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar. He said that China is now one of the world's great powers politically and economically, and he said that he was delighted to be able to extend a warm welcome to Premier Li on his first visit here to Ireland.
So, Ken, 45 years of diplomatic ties between the two countries being celebrated. Where can they cooperate most?
Yes, an important year for Irish and Chinese ties, 45 years of official diplomatic relationship. That relationship really has been pretty good over those 45 years, and it's getting better. Over the last 10, 15 years or so, there's been a real rise in the economic ties between the two countries. The bilateral trade is worth around $25 billion. Ireland is the only EU country that runs a trade surplus with China and has done so for a very long time. The Chinese investment in Ireland is up at around $10 billion. Big companies here, around 40 Chinese companies have set up shop in Ireland. People like Huawei, TikTok have a huge presence here, employing around 3,000 people. Ushi Biologics is also here, the pharmaceutical company. And going the other way, Ireland sends a lot of microchips to China, for example. It's replaced the United States as the biggest provider of these electronic chips that we see in everyday electronic goods. Almost everything that's built these days, very important. Those are made in the Intel factories here in Ireland. We've also just had a very important announcement that Irish beef is to be resumed in its export to China. Ireland, of course, a very small country, about 5 million people here. I was speaking to a Chinese businessman yesterday who said that we could fit the entire population of Ireland in one neighborhood in Shanghai. So the country needs to be very open. It exports a lot of goods, and one of those is the beef exports that are now going to be resumed to China. So good news all around here, Robin.
Ken, thank you very much. Our correspondent Ken Browne in Dublin.